You can take that right back to the kitchen. I won't eat a bite.
Oh, yas'm, you will. You gotta eat every mouthful of this.
No, I'm not. Now, come on and lace me.
I never saw such
Oh,
a
we're
child
late
in all
already.
my life. All right. You hold on. Now, suck in. Lord, just ain't nobody got a waist like my lamb. Every time I supposed to be swelling in less than 20 inches, she up and faint.
I never fainted in my life.
Well, 'twouldn't do no harm if you was to faint now and then. If you wants to catch a husband.
I'll catch your husband. Now, come on. Put on the dress.
What my lamb going to wear?
That.
Lord, I must know you ain't. You can't show your bosom before 3 o'clock. I'm sure gonna speak to your ma about you.
If you say one word to her, I won't eat a bite.
Keep this shawl around your shoulders. I ain't figuring on you getting freckled after the buttermilk I've been putting on you all the winter, bleaching them freckles you got on the beach of Savannah. Oh, Miss Scarlet, honey, be good. Come on, eat just a little.
I'm going to have a good time today and do my eating at the barbecue.
If you don't care about how folks talk about this family, I does. I done told you can always tell a lady by that she eat like a bird. And I ain't aiming for you to go down to Mr. John Wilkes's and eat like a field hand and gobble like a hog.
Mother's a lady, and she eats at parties.
And when you gets mad, you can eat too.
Fiddle-de-dee. Ashley Wilkes told me that he'd like to see a girl with a healthy appetite.
You listen to me. What gentleman says and what they thinks is two different things. And I ain't noticed Mr. Ashley asking for the marry. Don't eat too fast. No use having to come right back up again.
Oh, why is it a girl has to be so silly to catch a husband? I don't think Yankee girls have to act like such fools. Well, when we were at Saratoga last year, I saw plenty of them acting like they had right good sense. And in front of men, too.
Yankee gals. Well, I didn't see many of them getting proposed to at Saratoga.
Well, Yankees must get married. They don't just grow.
Yeah, but men's marries them for their money.
Well, now, what is it, Scarlet? A secret?
Yes, a secret. I'm in love with you, Ashley.
Well, now, isn't it enough for you that you've gathered in every other man's heart today? Must you have mine, too? Well, you've always had it, you know.
That's true, isn't it? You mean that, don't you?
Why, Scarlet, you cut your teeth on my heart.
Oh, you mustn't tease me, because I do love you. I do, Ashley, I do. And I know you care for me. A girl knows that sort of thing about a man. You couldn't fool me.
You must stop this sort of talk, Scarlet. We must both forget that you ever said any of it.
But how can we, Ashley? Well, why should we?
Because, Scarlet... Oh, dear little Scarlet. I'm going to marry Melanie. That's why.
But you can't do that, Ashley. Well, that wouldn't be nice. Or right, even. Well, is it possible that you didn't realize you cared for me? It almost seems like it must be, doesn't it? Well, you can just take my word for that, Ashley.
Now, I don't want to say anything that will hurt you, Scarlet. You're so young and impulsive. You don't know what you're saying.
I know I love you. And I want to be your wife. And you always made me think you wanted to marry me, so...
Now, Scarlet, you've got to be fair.
I'm being fair. It's the truth. What made me tell all my other beaux to scat, do you think? All my dozens and dozens of beaux that came right out and asked me to marry them. Well, I'll tell you what. It was knowing that sooner or later you'd ask me. That's what.
Now, Scarlet, you couldn't have known that. You had no reason to...
Think I never noticed how you kept hanging round me? What fun you've always had? And how you'd never let anybody else help me mount my horse. Not if you got there first, you never. And how you never said goodnight to me. Not once. Without holding my hand just a mite too long. Oh, you couldn't have realized, I know. You wouldn't have got yourself mixed up with Melanie. But it isn't too late, Ashley. Say it isn't too late. Say it, Ashley.
Now, why should I deny any of the things that you're saying? How could I help being drawn to you, Scarlett?
There, you see?
Am I any different from any of your beaux?
Of course you are. You're the one
I'm different only at one thing, that I'm older than they. And I never once thought of myself as a beau of yours. I was your elder brother.
Oh.
Well, did I love you as they did?
Of course you did.
It may well be that I did. It may well be that I love you as you're standing there now.
You do.
Only, well, these things aren't always as simple as we'd like to have them. It's Melanie that I want as my wife. And it's Melanie that I love as my wife.
But if you love me, well, you can't love Melanie.
But I do love her, little Scarlett. And I'm going to marry her.
You stop calling me little. You stop treating me like a child. I believe you're just plain scared to marry me. You'd rather live with that stupid little fool who can't open her mouth except to say yes and no, and raise a passel of mealy-mouthed brats just like her.
Now, you mustn't talk that way about Melanie.
I mustn't be damned to you. Who are you to tell me I mustn't? You're a low-down, philandering cad, Ashley Wilkes. I hate you. I hate you to the day I die. I can't think of anything bad enough to call you.
No, Scarlett.
You... Oh. Oh. Oh.
This is too much. It's bad enough to have an afternoon nap disturbed by such a conversation. But when I find my life endangered...
Sir, you should have made your presence known.
I wakened too late to do so tactfully. Have no fear, however. Your guilty secret is safe.
Sir, you are no gentleman.
An apt observation. And you, miss, are no lady. Oh, don't think I hold that against you. Ladies have seldom held any charms for me.
First, you take a low, common advantage of me, and then you insult me.
I meant to flatter you. You're a girl of admirable spirit, Miss O'Hara. And I'd like to see more of you when you're free of the spell of the elegant Mr. Wilkes. He doesn't strike me as half good enough for you.
You aren't fit to wipe his boots.
And you were going to hate him for the rest of your life.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. You did it on purpose, to my own brother.
I did not. How was I to know that one bottle of champagne, 4 cocktails, and 3 small whiskeys could make any grown man drunk?
You ought to be ashamed.
Well, he's the man should be ashamed.
Well, why were you with him at all, when you said you wouldn't be seen dead with him?
I was wrong. And I apologize for that. Any man that can walk into an office and get himself a job is an engineer.
Of what?
An engineer. A hydraulic engineer.
Oh.
He doesn't know what that is exactly, but that's what he is.
I think you must be drunk, too.
Lassie, you talk like a daft thing.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, none of us McGraths is capable of being drunk. We've tried.
Where did you meet my brother?
Outside the house.
Oh, you were spying.
If you were a man, I'd knock you down for that.
Well, I'm surprised you aren't trying to anyway.
If you want the truth, I was making a fool of myself. You're a fascist, bad-mannered, bad-tempered female. But I've discovered that I cannot live without you. It's an outrageous confession for a McGrath to make.
Well, you don't suffer with an inferiority complex, do you?
I do not.
And you know your own mind, don't you?
Aye, and pretty well everything else. Listen to me, Georgianne. I won't be tactful. No doubt I'm no very tactful man, but I'm an honest man, and I tell you I mean to marry you.
And I tell you, you're not going to do anything of the sort.
You're behaving like a poor daft body, and just because I won't behave as if I were daft too, you fly off into a black burning rage.
Well, I wouldn't if you'd mind your own business.
And that's exactly what I'm doing.